Hi everyone, hope you're having an awesome day. I've just finished shooting my photo shoot for my new book, so I've had a super sweet, awesome day. And I wanted to talk to you this week about an experience that happened to me earlier. There's this idea of integrity, and integrity is simply doing the things you said you would do and saying the things that are true to your core beliefs, values, and your virtues. And I want to talk about closing your integrity gap so you can show up more in your life. So let's talk a little bit about what the integrity gap is. The integrity gap is the difference between the life that you're actually living and the values that you hold as your highest deemed virtues. If there's a gap between them, there's some kind of integrity gap that needs to be closed. I want to give you an example of what happened to me in this past week. So my wellness studio is going through a little bit of a transformation. I'm stepping up in my services and what I provide for people that I'm super excited about. And we're changing the name to the Center for Optimal Living. I love the word optimal living because it incorporates the very physical, real side of our bodies and our minds and how we actually live and work in this world. But it also brings in the super fun and creative side of personal growth and development and how we can actually create an extraordinary life. So we're looking at our quality of life and our health, our well-being, our relationships. That might include how you interact with others, how you are at work and at home, really looking at living optimally. So we've been going through this whole rebranding process the past few months. It's going awesome. Our new website, it's not launched yet, but it is up. We're just flowing a lot of the format and information through. We're gonna do an official launch pretty soon, which I'm excited about. But earlier this week, I got a bit of a reality check and I learned about somebody who I'd connected with through online social media. This super awesome guy that I have so much love and respect for. He's just an amazing human being. He lives down in LA and his name is Brian Johnson, and he has a wife named Alexandra Johnson, who both Kate and I have an immense amount of respect for. Well, Brian came out with a program called Optimal Living 101 a few years ago, or a couple years ago. I just learned about this. I knew he had a bunch of programs, and I learned about how he had this optimal living program, and I thought, Jesus, I'm opening a place called the Center for Optimal Living. So I sat with it and realizing that I'm even going to call some of my seminars potentially Optimal Living 101, that I'm potentially copying somebody else's program, even though the delivery of what I'm doing is totally different. It could get misconstrued in a world and a person who I have a ton of respect for. So what did I do? I sat with it, Kate and I chatted about it, so I decided to write Brian an email. I wrote Brian an email and I let him know, and we know each other, we're friends, and from the online world. We've never met face to face, but we've really exchanged, close to a dozen emails. Some of those emails have been very personal and affectionate, so we do know each other. I said, hey Bri, what's up man? I just wanted to let you know what's going on in my life, and I'm opening up this place called the Center for Optimal Living. And I just learned about how you have a program called Optimal Living 101. And I ran by him everything that I was doing, and at the end of the email, I actually said, Brian, if you have issues with me calling my practice the Center for Optimal Living, I want you to let me know, and if it does, I will change the name. So even we've been going through this rebranding process for the last few months, I was willing to change the name to something else because integrity is a high virtue I have, and I felt out of integrity calling it something that somebody else is already using, and I happen to know that person. And I just put it out there in the email. He responded back a couple later and was like, Sukhi, you're awesome, man. I totally love and respect you. I have zero issues, and I feel so blessed that you ran this email by me. And I thought, how freaking cool is this? In that, I could just be totally open and honest, wear my heart on my sleeve, and share with him what I was doing, what I was changing, and just let him know that I wasn't stepping on his toes. Yet if he felt that way, I would totally change the name. He was like, no, cool. run with it, Suk. That's awesome. He's like, great minds think alike. This is why I love optimal living. Obviously, that's why you love optimal living and why you're calling your practice that. And it was the coolest thing because it was like this huge weight off my shoulders. Now, had I gone about it another way and didn't close my integrity gap, weeks, months, years down the road, Brian finds out I got this huge, center up here called Center for Optimal Living. In the back of my mind, to be like, does he have issues with it? Is he cool with it? But rather than putting it out on the table by closing my integrity gap, it allowed me to connect more with something I'm super passionate about. It allowed me to make a deeper connection with Brian himself, who I have an immense amount of love and respect for because he's just like such a great guy. So my invitation to you this week is to find out some areas of your life that you feel you have an integrity gap, in that you're doing something that is maybe not quite what you said, or you feel you possibly are stepping on another person's toes. Because after I sent that email, never mind Brian's response, but once I sent that email, there was this huge weight lifted off my shoulders. It felt so fantastic, and it was a bonus that Brian responded the way he did. So I invite you to do the exact same thing because I want you to experience what it's like to lift that weight off your shoulder. So close that integrity gap in any area of your life and you'll feel lighter, you'll feel more connected and more on purpose. Love to know what you think of this. Fire me an email, write a comment, close your integrity gap. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Be well, my friends.